is that from March of 2020 to September 31st of 2020, if a tenant hasn't paid rent, a landlord cannot evict them for non-payment of rent due to the effects of coronavirus. And every landlord should have, or should at this point, give this form to all of their tenants, because from October 1st of 2020 through January 31st of 2021, tenants have to pay at least 25% of the monthly rent. And should they not pay 25% of the monthly rent, that landlord can evict them for non-payment of rent and sue them in small claims court for past rent due. So this act protects tenants as long as they pay their rent of 25% a month through January 31st of 2021. Starting February 1st, tenants can start, landlords, if tenants February 1st haven't paid their full rent by February of 2021, they can start eviction proceedings to evict those tenants for non-payment of rent. And like I said, from October 2020 through January 31st, 2021, they have to pay at least 25%. If they don't pay at least 25%, then the landlords can evict. So, but it's no longer a 3-day notice to pay or quit. It would be a 15-day notice, pay or quit. So this is for rent due, the notice or pay transition period rent or quit. So this is for rent due between September 1st, 2020 and January 31st, 2021. So if they haven't paid that 25%, then the landlord can evict after giving a 15-day notice. And that's business days. It's not calendar days. So that's one form that I wanted to go over. And another form that is really good. Everybody says, well, what if, can the landlord pay off the tenant just to get rid of them? And you can. And this form, the rent forgiveness, termination of tenancy, and possession of premises agreement, the landlord can forgive the rent that's past due, give them money to also on top of it, whatever they want to do. You can use this form in order to get the tenant out, to get the tenant to vacate. So previous to September, this really wasn't available to anyone. So this is a great form. That's a great form. So going back to this form. No, this is not it. Sorry. Going back to the tenant, the Tenant Relief Act form. After the landlord gives the tenant this form, then the tenant needs to respond to this and say, I have been affected by coronavirus, and so that triggers that they only have to pay the 25%. If they're not affected by coronavirus and they're just being a deadbeat, well, don't get involved. Because the one thing I want to stress, and that has been stressed to me by our legal staff, is that please do not get involved in tenant landlord issues. It is so complex, it is so convoluted, because in one county it's different than the city. You know, there are possibilities in the city of LA that a landlord isn't going to be able to evict somebody until 2022. I mean, it is really have to, at this time, regarding tenant landlord issues, you really have to refer them to attorneys. So we do not want to get in the middle of that. So let me look. Joan says 25% of the monthly rent of 25% of the past due. It's 25% of the monthly rent. Starting in October, they had to pay 25% of the monthly rent. Now, after all this is over, it doesn't forgive, this act doesn't forgive what they owe from March to September. That amount is never forgiven. This is just to handle evicting the tenant, getting them out there. Because remember, there's moratoriums on evictions right now. But this act tries to handle that, in that if you're affected by coronavirus, okay, we're hitting the reset button on October, and if you pay at least 25% of what you owe, we're going to give you some time to get it together. Now, after all of this is over, theoretically, the landlord can evict and can go to small claims court and sue for back rent. Now, everybody says, well, you know, there's a limit of $10,000 in small claims court. Well, that limit for unpaid rent has been lifted. So if they owe $50,000 in past due rent, the landlord can sue for $50,000. So that's important to know. I think that is about it. I'm gonna stop sharing. When where are you? Sorry. Stop sharing. Okay, so that's pretty much it with these forms. That's enough for you to digest, because they're all very confusing. And you know, the important thing to note is that if you have a listing, you've got to post that that pictogram, the PRE. You've got to post that on the entrance to the property. You've got to upload the best practices into the MLS. So that, number one, that's the first thing you have to do. Then you have to have your seller or occupant sign the PED-S. Every visitor has to sign a PED-V. And I'm going to go back, because I had a discussion with somebody earlier today. I'm going to go back. Let me sign into my all right, hold on. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Sorry. One quick thing I want to share with you. Where is this? Okay, there we go. Okay, so what you should be seeing is my MLS. I'm going to click on one of our listings here. Okay. So here is a listing in Los Angeles. Whose listing is this? This is Jordan Davies. Jordan Davies listing. I want to show you, this is the greatest invention since white bread. Use peed in glide during COVID-19. People, use this link when you're, this, if it's in the MLS, on every MLS, there is this button. You click on it, and it move, where'd it go? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, you click on it, and you're going to, it's going to direct you to complete the PV for this property, and it will automatically, after, it'll fill in um, your PED for you as the agent and your clients. You give them your clients' information. It will send it if you use, I believe if you're using DocuSign, it will send it automatically to them. No, it's through zip form, so it could be through, if you're using digital ink, one of the two, it'll send it directly. Otherwise, it'll open it up in your zip forms in order for you to send it. But and then it automatically sends it to the listing agent. So use this, use it to show your properties. It's the easiest thing to do. So it's really, really helpful. So I'm gonna, all right, I'm stop sharing. Let me see.
Questions,
I
right?
was just gonna go back to the questions. What,
Yeah.
okay, where am I? I can't find it. Okay, there we go. Christine says Glide is fantastic. Thank you, Christine. Priya, can we hire people with proper masks, gloves to distribute marketing materials? No, you cannot. Problem is you can't distribute marketing materials, period. Can't. Not allowed. You can do mailers, unfortunately. And um, I was in a meeting this afternoon, and it was verified. The DRE is now getting involved in regards to open houses, people having open houses where they shouldn't be having open houses, and dropping off marketing materials. Um, if somebody reports you to the DRE is going to get involved. So they're going to start policing this. So be very careful out there. You know, they send, what about candy? No, you can't distribute, can't go door to door. You can't go door to door. Sorry, Halloween's been canceled for gosh sakes. So no, you can't distribute candy. You can't distribute pumpkins. You can't drop something off at somebody's house. You know, there are those homeowners who don't care, but you're going to get the one who does and who's going to create a stink, and I'm going to get a call about it. So, um, so no, can't distribute anything door to door, unfortunately. That's basically all I had for today. I don't see any more questions.
You have one more question. It's from Mona. If the tenant never pays rent or does damage to the property, is there a way the landlord can put it on their history?
Not, I mean, if, you know, there will be a time that the the landlord will be able to sue for damages or sue for, sorry, my one went out and I wanted to switch over, but there will be a time for them to sue them for non-payment of rent and for damages. There will be that time. So but to be on a history, no, there isn't any. Sorry.
Okay. I
So.
think that's all the questions that I see.
Okay. All right. Well, I thank you. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. And like I am available to help. Email, call me. I'm available. If I don't answer, then leave me a message, send me a text. I will get back. I may be at a meeting or on another line. So stay healthy, stay safe, and sell a lot of houses. All right.
Thank you, Rich.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. Bye.
Bye.